This is my presentation for week 2. My name is Blanca Gonzalez for POL 493. Okay, we're going to start with Wilson's dichotomy. Wilson's dichotomy, he was speaking about the relationship of public administration and politics and how they are both working together. So what he was mostly emphasizing was the fact that the government should be free from the corruption, from the influence of politics. So he wanted this relationship to kind of not coincide with one another. He wanted the relationship to kind of stand on its own. So public administration should work on their issues while politics should be far away from influencing the public administration. Okay, Taylor's scientific management. Taylor defined rules, laws, and principles to scientific management. He basically created some sort of format of how organizations should be managed. He focused on making public administration more efficient, and he did this by focusing on individual performance. So his thought was that if he focused on his employees and his workers individually and kind of see where they can grow and be better, then by making each individual a better performer, it would make the organization better. So yeah, his rules and laws and principles were geared to that sort of theory. A way I can apply this is, like a car, like all the car has working parts, and I mean, if it has one flat tire, the whole vehicle is not going to be driving or going very far. So we need to have all parts in working order, even if there's small parts, because one small part that's not working can slow down the organization or the car at this point. Okay, Gulick's POSDCORB. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, Post Corp. So that is basically an acronym. It stands for planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting. So this is pretty much a plan on how to manage an organization. A lot of these theories are working towards making a more efficient organization. So by planning being the first step on this theory, you actually map out the organization, what you have to do, by writing it down or just having an outline, and then you go ahead and start organizing, pick your staffing, direct, coordinate, and after this you begin your reports, and of course money is introduced at the end. So I mean, you don't want to start financing something without having a plan. So that's why the money aspect is at the end, because once you know what's going on, you can go ahead and apply your monies towards your organization. Okay, Weber's bureaucracy. Weber believed that bureaucracy was the most efficient way to organize. He also provided a structure. He thought that dividing tasks and responsibilities was the way to go, and he created some sort of a hierarchy with supervisors at every level. So it was kind of like a checks and balances. Every level was being overseen by somebody, and then that level was being overseen by somebody else, and that way everybody was held accountable. He also emphasized on training individuals. If you weren't trained, if you weren't qualified to work at this organization, then you should not be working or even be hired. Okay, Follett's leadership. Follett's theory, I think it's a really good one. She emphasized that leadership is when leaders can create other leaders, and the way you can measure leadership is by seeing the people that they lead. So if they're being productive, if they're doing their job efficiently, then it's because they have good leadership. And also, she says a good way to measure these leaders is to check and see the people that they're leading, if they want to become leaders themselves. So leaders create other leaders. Okay, Simon's bounded rationality. Simon, he emphasized on human beings being bounded by their rationality. He thought that organizations were large in scale, and human beings, um, sometimes they can't think out of the box. Sometimes organizations are too big for them to fathom. And oftentimes the individual will make decisions that are best for the organization, but are not always the most rational, only because it's the way us humans think, and sometimes our brain can't really see the whole picture. He also had, it was like a two-part organization question. Um, he thought organizations were decision-making systems, and he organized that in two questions. He based that individuals must decide to be part of an organization, and they should also decide to contribute desired behaviors. Okay, so that is my presentation for week 2. I hope that you guys all learned different theories and the different ways to organize organizations.